BRUCAST is back, baby.
Do definitely recommend.
But man, this whole show don't tell, that's horrible because how I gonna be on Instagram while I watch a movie at the same time? I need to have the. Nah, I'm joking, of course.
Don't get me started on the phone. Yeah, whenever I send something to a friend or something, I'm like, please just do me the favor of not watching this on a phone. Like at least watch it on a laptop at minimum, you know.
But that's not something you can control. Like that's unfortunately that's how media is
Consumed.
consumed nowadays,
Yeah,
right? So,
and I'm also embracing it, and we won't go down an AI path, but yeah, I am actually embracing like how can we make things in this format, you know? If we're watching everything in a portrait format, well, let's kind of embrace that too. I'm not like, oh, anti. I just think when things are shot really cinematically, if the project is shot cinematically, give it justice by watching it. Even better, watch it with people. Um, a screening for a short film down in Berlin a couple of months ago, and it was just, I said there how awesome it was just to sit with an audience and have a cinematic experience, because we're in danger of losing that bit.
yeah, a friend of mine sent me an article that in I don't know how many years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, cinemas won't be a thing anymore. Like they will still exist. People will go there from time to time, but it's so much more convenient just to sit at home and fire up Netflix either on your phone or your notebook. And it's like humans, they're lazy. They're just gonna do whatever it's easier. And
I think it I think it takes effort to, get out of the house and go do that. But like from a filmmaking perspective, for a while, like I was making little things and sending them off into the internet, and then you get something back, and but you don't really know. You just don't know. When you watch something with an audience, the audience gives you the real truth of it. You
mm-hmm,
can feel you can feel in the room whether it's resonating, whether it's working or not, and that's awesome. Even if it's not working, like you feel it. And with the nature of the internet and just sending stuff here, there, and everywhere, like every day, I get like 20, 30 emails about online film festivals,
mm-hmm.
and it's so crazy because it's so oversaturated, this online film festivals. There are so many now, um, and I'm all up for like as much exposure for projects as possible, but I literally get every day just flooded with, here's a 60% discount to this online film festival. And you just can't filter through filter through it. There's just so much because people have jumped on this online film festival world.
Hmm. Is this? I didn't know this was a thing. That's crazy.
Mm, yeah.
So, oh my god! So it's basically a bunch of movies, but there's no one you watch at home, basically. Yeah.
Well, you can register a festival, and then people submit to it, and then you don't even know who's actually watching your film, and then you can get a laurel, these
Mm-hmm.
the things everyone wants on the poster. Uh, so that's appealing, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much, and like sometimes these emails are personal. They're like, hey, we checked out your stuff, and you should submit it, but there's just so much of it. It's that's a thing of its own too. I just think going out there face to face, you can't beat that. Like sitting with an audience, community, um, getting the visceral reaction from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's like what it's about. I hope we don't lose that.
Yeah, I hope so because it's like my interpretation, my take on it would be like going to a concert. I love watching like concerts on YouTube. I have this my favorite cowboy singer Chris Stapleton. I watch like all of his shows on YouTube, but I'm sure like I would pay a lot of money to go to one of his concerts to watch him
I
live because it's different. It's a
I
different,
know that I know that he sings about pickup trucks and stuff. Yeah,
I
is
guess.
he the? No, He's a country and western dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have an appreciation for the storytelling aspect of country music. It's not my style, but I don't know if it's the guy you're talking about, but I was listening to some and I'm like, wow, this is, sitting in a bar drinking whiskey with my pickup truck outside.
Yeah, yeah, he's amazing. And but yeah, it's different going to the show or going to a concert in real life or going to a stand-up comedy in real life is different from the online experience because you have like this energy, people around you that's something that you don't get online. Yeah.
I went to a gig last night here, an
Yeah.
Australian band, Hollow Coves, and yeah, I mean, sometimes the people around you are annoying, They're like bumping into you, or they're like,
Yeah.
they're trying to have like a quiet moment on stage and someone's talking behind you or whatever. But that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the color of like you got to deal with that stuff. And I always feel better when I get out and go
Mm.
and do it, I think it takes, unfortunately now it's like an effort for people. It takes muscle to leave all this screens and get out.
Mm. No, totally, totally. We are social creatures, but because of the rise of technology and screens and social media, I saw somewhere that never in history the average person had uh, so little friends, so many how to say, not a lot of friends in real life. Like the average amount of friends that someone has been declining steadily over the years. You know what I mean? Like
And it's, yeah, what's the definition of a true friend, it's crazy, man. The whole thing about social media is it pushes itself on connection, but it's actually one big disconnect.
mm, mm, totally. So what do you make? We very shortly, very rapidly mentioned AI. Have you seen this new technology, Sora?
Mm.
And I like the I think it's from Google. I'm not certain, but apparently you just write a prompt and it generates like a real looking short movie. What do you make of that?
It's kind of mind-blowing and scary at the same time. And when AI came about as a writer and as a creative, and I was doing voiceover work, um, I had a bit of a panic.
Hmm.
And then I was like, it goes back to what we're saying. Oh, I don't know if we've said it, but it goes back to the soul of something, right? So for me, if something is generated artificially, it can be really slick and really accurate, but there's always this like 10% or part of it that is not connecting with what we want to like feel, like the soul aspect of it. Um, it's like the ebooks or the having the real pages in the hand. And I think when Kindle came out, people were like, "That's the end of the book." But actually, people want to hold the pages. Not everybody, right? But like I love the audio experience of books now. I think that's awesome. But reading, I want to break from the computer. I just because we're on computers all day. When it comes to reading, it's like I want to feel the pages. And I think I'm talking very generally. So in a film aspect, I think there's room for everything still. But for me, again, it's subjective, it's personal choice. And the things that appeal to me is how can we do a lot with less? So, for instance, The Whale, uh, it's one house and five characters or something total. And that movie just it it gave me so much of an experience as opposed to like let's say the superhero movies. Um, So yeah, this it's really scary, but at the same time, I think there's room for everything, and I think it's like how do as a creative, how do you embrace it so that it helps you? Um, you know, so I'm trying to find this, but it's moving so fast and it's also new. It's like once you get your head around something, something else has come in. So I'm just trying to find how I can find like a middle,
Hmm. Yeah. It will require an adaptation for sure, because the only word that comes to my mind is disruptive. It's so
Disruptor.
disruptor. Yeah, it's so disruptor. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I I was listening to Vanilla Ice talk the other day, you know, this 90s rapper.
Mm.
I grew up with this, like, and he was just saying how glad he is to have really lived in the 90s, and so so am I, because it was seriously before the world ended with technology, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But it's not only filmmaking. It's also music recording, is image